Hi, I am Dr. Patricia Dyett, and this nutrition health video may be just what you need. Tip your balanced scale of nutrition in the right direction. Have you ever lost your balance? We all know that balance is needed for riding a bicycle or standing on one leg or for financial budgeting, surfing waves in the sea, and even for navigating work, academic studies, and church activities. But did you also know that food choices, eating habits, diet or meal patterns, and good nutrition require balance too? I will be sharing 5 simple tips that are useful for nutritional balance. If you have problems with overeating, tip number 1 is for you. Balance with portion control. So smaller portions and share larger meal portions with others. This can make a big difference, as you can see here, especially when it comes to calories. Also, you can use smaller plates, bowls, cups, and food containers, as well as measuring utensils and scales for portioning. Now, if you don't have some of these measuring utensils, etc., you can estimate your portion sizes. For example, a thumb is equivalent to 1 tablespoon, a fingertip of the index, 1 teaspoon, a cupped hand, 1 ounce, the palm of your hand, about 3 ounces, and your fist, about 1 cup. If you have problems with eating and snacking at any given time, then tip number 2 is for you. Balance with self-control. Do not keep snacks around you. So you shouldn't have a snack drawer under your bed. Avoid eating between main meals. Avoid late night meals or snacking. Try eating at regular or set times. And this can help you avoid skipping meals. Because when you skip meals, sometimes when you get back your time to eat, you tend to overeat. If you want to know how much of certain food items you should have on your plate, then tip number 3 tells us balance with proportion control. So your lean protein should take a quarter of your plate, your vegetables and or fruit, a half of the plate, and complex starches or grains, 1/4 of your plate. Now, if you want to know how much of certain nutrients or ingredients you have or should use in your food, then tip number 4 tells us balance with nutrient and ingredient control. So you need to read food labels, find some healthy recipes, and find out recommended intake. So for example, 1 teaspoon of salt contains 2,300 milligrams of sodium, and that happens to be the maximum recommendation of sodium per day. Now, are you stuck on bread or sada roti morning, noon, and night? Or is it always doubles with chana chutney and grated cucumber for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Or maybe it's KFC, Pizza Hut, or McDonald's that are your usual fast food order along with regular soda. Well, obviously, we have a lot of imbalances here. Either too much flour, too much fat, salt, or sugar, and too much of the same thing. Or, on the other hand, too little fiber, not enough vegetables, and certainly not enough variety. Therefore, tip number 5 tells us balance with variety and health-focused control. And we can do this if we choose different foods from the 6 Caribbean food groups. And so these are staples, legumes, vegetables, fruits, fats and oils, and food from animals or their alternatives. So specifically, balancing staples with whole grain cereals and high fiber starches. So using more of whole grain breads, tortillas, pita, roti, etc., cooked oatmeal, brown rice, cornmeal, quinoa. Using moderate amounts of red, white, and sweet potatoes, dashing tubers, green bananas, edibles, breadfruit, plantains, cassava, yams, and less of the refined, ready-to-eat, highly processed and instant versions. Then balance your legumes with peas, beans, peanuts, lentils, soybeans, alfalfa, chana, pigeon, pinto, and black-eyed peas, etc., along with tree nuts like pecans and almonds, and seeds like flaxseed, sesame seed, and chia seeds. Use more fresh, frozen, and dried legumes and less of the canned, highly preserved and oversalted versions. Balance your vegetables, raw and cooked or in fresh juice form. So your green, leafy, and salad vegetables like bhaji, lettuce, spinach, watercress, pak choy, and cabbage. And your non-starchy like cauliflower, broccoli, eggplant, okra, cucumbers, and tomatoes. And your root vegetables like pumpkin, beetroot, and carrots. Use less of the canned and preserved and more fresh and frozen. Then balance your fruits, raw, dried, or in fresh juice form. Guava, apple, mango, grapes, bananas, oranges, governor plums, pomerac, pineapple, watermelon, West Indian cherry, and the list goes on. Use less canned and more fresh or frozen. Balance your fats and oils. These can come from various sources, but it's best to concentrate mainly on the plant-based fats. So use moderate amounts of unsaturated fats, olive oil, avocado, canola oil, soybean oil, nut butters, walnuts, coconut cream, and flaxseed. Use less of saturated fats, which come mostly from animal sources, and avoid trans fats, which come mostly from manufactured products. Then balance your foods from animals and meat or dairy alternatives. For those who are not vegetarians or vegans and those transitioning to plant-based diets, use no unclean meats or fish and no processed meat. Use less red meat, cheese, less dairy milk, and less processed high-sodium meat and dairy alternatives. Use moderate amounts of soya chunks and mince, low-sugar yogurt, fish, egg, or egg white, I should say, tofu, soy milk, almond milk, nutritional yeast, and cashew cheese. So be sure to save this important take-home and text message. Take control of your nutritional balance and tip it in the right direction. Use portion control, self-control, proportion control, nutrient and ingredient control, and variety and health-focused control. But if you still feel this may be a bit hard to do, then claim Philippians 4:13, which says, I can do all things through Christ who gives me the strength.